The book intends to highlight what specific virtues Filipinos today live as a result of what they have inherited from their parents and from their grandparents, and to make sure that these virtues, which are already enshrined in certain values, will not disappear, especially because of the way other societies have lost a lot of these values, especially those that are related to strong and intact families. I gave special importance to the virtues that are lived within the family: generosity, cheerfulness, humility, the ability to forgive. So these are virtues that I hope Filipinos today and in the future will retain. I was very much involved in the writing of the Philippine Constitution in 1986, and one of the contributions I made, together of course with others, was to put into our Constitution that the family is the foundation of society and that marriage is an inviolable institution. I think there are very few constitutions in the world that make those statements. Divorce leads to children who grow up many times not knowing their fathers, or are troubled mentally because of the instability of their upbringing. And so this is not just a moral issue. This has a lot to do with the way divorce impacts on society, even economically, when many times because of the way these children, drop out of school or are mentally disturbed, the state has to spend billions and billions of dollars in addressing the social problem. So divorce is not just a moral issue, it is a social and economic issue. They lead to a lot of social ills that can cost the government a lot of money to remedy the ills. Like, for example, single mothers. It has been demonstrated in the US that they belong to the poorest segments of society. They're the ones who are very much burdened by economic problems, and they have to be subsidized by the government. And I think there is an increasing evidence that if you allow same-sex parents to adopt children, those children are not going to be mentally sound. I think there's a very big difference between children who are brought up by a father and a mother in a stable relationship and those that are being brought up by individuals who are supposed to be quote-unquote married, but belong to the same sex. The rising use of artificial contraceptives leads eventually to higher rates of divorce, higher rates of single mothers, higher rates of troubled teenagers. These were the data that he was able to put together, and he just presented it. The name of this person is George Akerlof, and he is a Nobel Prize winner in economics. And so I always present that as evidence that promoting contraceptives in the Philippines would lead to disaster. We would have more and more breakup of marriages, more and more single mothers, and more young people who are troubled. Definitely abortion is one of the most heinous crimes that can be committed, since these are the most defenseless creatures. They do not have any way of defending themselves. And this is one bad value that I hope will never enter Philippine soil. both being moral as well as practical. And this is not just a pious belief. It is a practical advice to every government. If you don't want to spend a lot of money spending on providing for single mothers, you know, making sure that your children don't drop out of school, or that teenagers do not become drug addicts, which are always problems of the state, then do everything possible to protect the stability of the union between a man and a woman in the stable institution of marriage. We bought in all the leading stores like National Bookstore, Fully Booked, Totus bookstores, and they may also get in touch with the office of the Center for Research and Communication. They can always find it in the website, and the books also will be available here.